The House of Representatives will vote today on whether to hold former Trump advisor Steve Bannon in criminal contempt of Congress. Bannon has not complied with a subpoena to produce records for the committee investigating the insurrection. The former chief strategist for the Trump administration was in close contact with then President Trump before the attack. Bannon's attorney said last week he is following the direction of the former president's legal team to not provide documents or testify. The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack has already voted to hold Bannon in criminal contempt. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi was asked earlier why she believes Republicans should vote to hold Bannon in contempt.
The genius of our Constitution and of our founders was the separation of power, checks and balances. If, in fact, you want to negate the ability of one check of another branch of government over another, then you are undermining the Constitution. So this goes beyond Bannon in terms of its importance, and you would think that if they take an oath to protect and defend the Constitution, they would vote for the system of checks and balances.
For more on this, I want to bring in Siobhan Hughes. She's a reporter for the Wall Street Journal covering Congress. Hi, Siobhan. So what can we expect to see from this full House vote today? Is it likely to be approved?
Yes, Democrats clearly have the votes to approve this contempt charge, and certainly with a couple of other Republicans, Liz Cheney, for example, also on that January 6th committee. So this is likely to be approved, and there is no next congressional step on this. Afterwards, there could be a referral made to the Justice Department, and there is likely to be one.
Right. So that are we sort of in uncharted territory then here? If, you know, the House does approve this criminal contempt citation against Bannon, which looks likely, as you just said, no congressional steps are next. But has this happened before? Has something similar happened like this?
So there have been past attempts to hold very high-ranking officials who have been in administrations in contempt. For example, during an era of Republican control of the House, the then Attorney General Eric Holder was held in contempt. But what is novel and new about and untested about this situation is that Mr. Bannon is citing executive privilege for conversations he would have had with Mr. Trump when Mr. Bannon was not technically in the Trump administration. He was merely an informal advisor. And so there's this question now, among other things, of whether or not executive privilege does extend to an aide, an advisor who was not actually working at the White House. And that's part of what will be tested with this.
And does it also test whether executive privilege extends beyond an administration that's no longer in office?
So the Supreme Court has weighed in on this question, and it has held that an administration no longer in office can assert executive privilege. However, less deference is given to the claims of former presidents, and we really, really don't know how the courts would end up ruling on this if, in fact, that came into play.
So, of course, this is all happening because Mr. Bannon defied the subpoena to appear and produce these records. But does all of this go beyond him? Is this bigger than just Steve Bannon?
This absolutely goes beyond Steve Bannon. Right now, Steve Bannon is the only person who has been subpoenaed so far to assert executive privilege. But it's important for this reason. Mr. Bannon is very clearly being made an example. And the January 6th committee is sending a message not only to those who have been subpoenaed, but to those who might be. Do you really want to go through this? You are going to be in a world of legal hurt if you in the future try to defy a subpoena by citing executive privilege. And so tactically, this is a very, very significant moment for the committee.
And is it sort of a test of, how sharp Congress's teeth are when it comes to this?
It is a test of how sharp Congress's teeth are. During the years when the Trump administration was in power, people like Adam Schiff, Jerry Nadler were perpetually frustrated by their inability to enforce a lot of the subpoenas that they had sent out when they were conducting an impeachment investigation. Right now, they have total control of both the White House, the House, and the Senate. And so this shows just how far a Congress can go when a single party is in entire control of the government.
All right, so the story is clearly not ending with today's vote. Siobhan Hughes, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it.